So, good afternoon or good morning or good evening
Welcome.
for everybody, to everybody. I would like to address this very, I would say, powerful notion of the values. And I shall try to give some good examples. How do we do that in our school? How we make values as an inspiration for leadership for better world. And if I'm talking about the values, I keep in mind diversity, honesty, integrity, tolerance, human rights, peace, open mindset, thinking worldly, democracy, equality of chances for development, of course knowledge, since I come from the knowledge creating institution, but of course there is much more than that, and there are the values. And we try in our school at IEDC-Bled School of Management, we really try to put the people in the mood, on the reflective mood, in the mood for asking themselves, searching the meaning, asking themselves, what is the meaning of everything what I'm doing? Because we see that that management is too much in the management schools about the knowledge. It's too much about the facts. It's too much the value is the money, and even all this accreditation and rankings and all of the schools is they are still so much connected with money and with, you know, how much do you earn after the school, then how you know, for how many multinationals your company, I mean you are working, etc., etc. So I don't believe that these are really the things that we should search for. And so we are in our school building on three main pillars. One is sustainable development. The other one is aesthetics, is the beauty, is learning from the art metaphor, and another one is ethics. I could go just with the other direction and say that we start with ethics because we were one of the main and the first management schools, not the main, the first management schools in the world that were already 29 years ago having a subject, required subject, ethics in our MBA program and in other programs. So we believe that emotional engagement is very much necessary for any action of change. If you would like really that people are doing something which it's creating change, then they need to change by themselves. And you can change only if you are really very, very much touched by something, if you are sensitive on some things. And that's why our education goes in this direction, developing senses. Because famous professor, you probably heard of that, famous professor Edgar Schein said, art is helping us to see more, to hear more, to feel more. Art is shocking, provoking, and inspiring. And if we shall have inspired leaders, then the society will look better than it looks today. So we try to make people, our participants in the studies, better listeners through letting them to listen the music. And then at the end, you know what they say? They say, I shall never listen to music on the same way anymore, because we let them recognize in the music the conflict, the harmony, the growth, the order, the chaos, and so on. So we have, I don't know whether there is any other business school in the world that has professional pianists employed, fully employed. And then we have also part-time employed expert in corporate governance who is also a painter and who is having an art gallery and who is helping students to become, through visual arts, a better observer. Because if the leader is not a good observer, observing what is happening around, and here we come to context, as what we were hearing before. If the leader is not capable to observe, we cannot expect big things from this leader. So observing, listening, these are terribly important skills. Of course, in this society today and in the future, will be even more important to be very creative and very innovative. And we are also doing the same with this, learning from the art metaphors. Creativity, boosting creativity, and so on. The other way how we are very much trying to develop the right values in the study and in education in general is that we are bringing them in very special situations, the students in very special situations like the post-war Sarajevo. This was a fantastic, as we say for our school, that we are creative environment for creative leadership, having 200 pieces of art everywhere on the walls, and people say, I came in the morning half an hour earlier to look to the pictures and to get inspiration for the whole day. The same it goes with the other environment which we found in Sarajevo, in the post-war Sarajevo, as I mentioned already. So there it takes place so-called experiential learning. We are bringing them there. We are confronting them with the victims of the war, with raped women, with mothers who lost their children in the war in front of them. Then we are letting them talk with business leaders. We let them talk with artists, with religious leaders, and political leaders. And so they are starting to see that that also in these difficult situations, these people found the meaning to become a better person. They found a meaning in some other things, like to support each other, to help each other, to work, to collaborate, etc. And also not to lose the hope. I think that this is very important. The leaders who are sometimes becoming desperate because every day something is changing, the paradigms of leadership are changing all the time, and then you are suddenly seeing how some people survived, how some people make themselves better human beings, and others helping others to become better human beings, etc. That through such a very powerful experience, you can become by yourself, you can become a better human being, you can lose the prejudices, and you can start to look for the meaning of every little gesture you are doing. So, and you are going motivated home. We had a seminar which we called, identity and managing change. For instance, one of them, managing change, identity, and values. And so we were seeing, we were through this, what I just described, through these meetings and talkings, then through, through a poetry. Then they returned to Slovenia, to Bled, which is as such a reflective place. There we have a poet who was in his poem talking about identity of Europe, for instance. And so then again we came in the new context, in a new environment, which was of course more arranged and with less problems, less pain, and so on. But we could then somehow, these people could settle down, reflect, compare, and of course go home very motivated for new actions and for new work, new demanding work of leadership, which was waiting for them. So this is something what I would like to add to this. I think that holistic approach to leadership is very important. I think that critical thinking, what you mentioned, is very important. But I try to add and to present to you some, and to demonstrate. I mean, it's difficult to say demonstrate, but still to show you a little bit, to give you a taste of what we are doing on a practical way, what we try to contribute in our school to the better leadership, which would really be based on right values.